Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast with your host, Lauren Dulgeru, aka The Solutionist. You are about to discover priceless insight, experiences, and perspectives that will inspire and empower you to break down your own obstacles and reprogram your own limiting beliefs. All while raising women business owners to the pedestal that has been long awaiting, the coronation of true, principled women in business. Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast.
Do you want to do more business, but don't really know what that means? Do you want to grow and scale your business so that you can sell for top dollar and properly fund the lifestyle and retirement that you've been planning for? Are you ready to do more business so that you can have the lifestyle you desire? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast, where we empower women business owners to overcome obstacles in business so that you can live the lifestyle you desire, reclaim your freedom of time, and create generational wealth. I'm your host, Lauren of the House of Solandria, aka The Solutionist, and I'm here with you on this special podcast today to empower you to do more business, multiply your valuation, and create the freedom that only generational wealth can bring. And my friends, I do have to tell you how excited I am here to have another special episode of the Principled Women in Business podcast, Founders Finish Line Edition. And you know what that means? That means I have my special guest, the Prophetic Finiancer, aka Al Mills, who is one of the panelists going to be featured at the Founders Finish Line coming up in February. If you're not aware of the Founders Finish Line experience and what that's going to be bringing to you and your business, you need to stay online because we are going to be showing you how you can maximize that valuation and truly get that freedom of time and fund your retirement, your nest egg, your golden years in the way that you truly planned. Al, welcome with me here to the Principled Women in Business podcast. As always, it is a profound honor.
Hey, Lauren, welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be on the call today. I'm excited to talk about another great topic, I'm sure, that's in store for the viewers and the listeners.
You know, we've been talking, throughout 22 and here into 23 that we're really going to be coming out as a team, as the Empirenomics team, and exposing the professionals, the charlatans, the people who say they have your best interests in mind, and really bringing that forth. And one thing that, if you guys heard me before, one thing I'm very passionate about is business, women in business, and really seizing that success that we set out to have, that freedom of time so we could take care of our family and make those choices. How many times did we start a business and we had this dream where we're going to have all of this time to spend with our families and we were going to be able to fund whatever we needed? And then we woke up and we're running everything. We're frazzled. We have no time for anything, no less our loved ones. And Al, we talk about this all the time. So who better to come on and really expose this with me? Now,
Let's do it.
Could you give everyone, if they've not been here before to hear you, can you give everyone a little bit more about your background and your specialty and truly why you're here with us?
Oh, sure. I'll give you the very accelerated version. Well, basically, I really specialize in helping individuals, entrepreneurs, create what we call a lifestyle compliant empire where you live life on their own terms, because in a society today, so many people and business owners are having a lack of what you would call socioeconomic mobility. And so my background is that of Wall Street. I have over 27 years in equities, securities, and the like, and been helping companies grow and scale their businesses for many years. And I think now is a better time than any, where so many people are uncertain with the layoffs that are happening. We all know the multitude of layoffs that happened at Amazon. And it's just going to become a trend that's in a recessionary period that average businesses lay off 10 to 20% of their staff whenever there's a recessionary period. So for a lot of small businesses out there, They may not have the capacity to pivot. And so this call may be a duality, if you will, to be able to maybe give information on how to stay afloat, how to pivot in the market, and how to exit out, as you call it, the finish line. But here's an interesting stat, Lauren, I want you to, be aware of, as well as the audience, is that over 99% of America's businesses, which constitutes 28.7 million businesses, are small businesses. And 88% of those firms or companies have less than 20 employees. So just think about that. In a recessionary period that we're entering in, the small to medium-sized businesses have 20 or less employees. Imagine a 20 to 30% decrease in employment. What does that work out to be?
Add to that, we're undergoing the biggest transfer of wealth right now. How many baby boomers are getting ready to exit out of their businesses? And they only have two options. They either pass it down to, three options, excuse me. They pass it to their kids who, as we see, they're not really trying to take on their parents' business.
Exactly.
They close it, or they sell it and they hope they get enough to not have to return to work as a cashier, a Walmart greeter. So there's those two things. Not only do we have the layoffs, but we also have businesses that are potentially closing. So those who are getting laid off, they have less places to go.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what do you do?
What's the solution to that, right? How many people do we talk to, you and your industry and mine, they want to open a business. They want to start a business. And 80%, let's be very conservative. 80% of businesses will fail over 5 years. And to me, that's a really large risk, especially when, you're not trained, you don't have necessarily an MBA or someone on a team, or maybe you don't even have a team. Maybe you're really going into this as a solopreneur, a gig mentality, if you will. And that's where I think so many business owners are having a hard time really actualizing and realizing that price tag that they once envisioned when they started off in business or they bought the business. They don't know how to realize that biggest price tag so they don't have to go back to work.
Yes. But, again, when you think about exiting out and really wanting to retire and sell your business, to your point, selling your business first starts with identifying your reason why you want to sell, and make sure your business is in the shape it needs to be in to be sold in a timely sale.
In a timely and a private sale, how often do we, businesses will go up on sale publicly, and their finances and their internals, they all get exposed to their competitors. Then they find themselves not only in a position that they really need to sell, but their competitors is trashing their reputation. So it's even harder now.
Yeah. Yep. It is. It really is. And couple that with most think that they're going to sell the business. It takes preparation. In my experience, it should be at least 1 year or more in advance. That's critical. It gives you time to improve your financial record, your customer base, and any other factors that may make a difference in making your sales successful.
Let's expose that. You went there. Being the M&A space, mergers, acquisitions, how often business brokers, even owners, they so often think to sell a business, all I need to show you are my financials, my balance sheet, a list of inventory, and maybe some assets. Oh, and a website if I have that. But in all reality, to do a true transaction where you are going to get the most for it, the checklist is easily 100 items. To really be thorough, to have that business where they just want to snap you up, where you're commanding the most and you're not on the market. You don't even need to go on the market. You're already ready to go. Perfect package.
And that starts with what? You first have to determine the value of your business so that you can price it appropriately. Yes. So many small business owners, especially in exiting, rely totally on a business broker to give them a valuation.
Completely on a business broker. And That's not even to go to say that a business broker has any experience running a business, building it, growing it, but even putting a valuation on it. Does he know the difference between seller discretionary earnings, SDE, or EBITDA, as you will?
Mm-hmm.
And so many times they don't. And that is terrifying because that terminally affects your exit multiple, your final price. And if she's giving you pie in the sky, you have a false expectation. So it makes it more difficult for you to let go of that baby because you have this false expectation that was sold to you by someone who doesn't have experience in the mergers acquisition space or long-term experience in running, growing a business or exiting a business. There's so many factors that come into assigning a valuation and creating that expectation, helping you even to prepare to be ready to sell your business.
You ready for a little secret?
I love secrets.
Here's a little secret that most business brokers won't tell you.
Oh, yes.
Most novice buyers and business brokers alike, they do what we call P&Ls, whereas real buyers, real qualified buyers, want to see financial statements along with tax returns.
Along with the tax returns.
To see, the tax return tells the real story, and you want at least a few years back, minimum 2 to 3 years back, if you've been in business more than that time frame, so that a potential buyer can see truly what you reported to IRS. There's no saying in the M&A space. You may lie to me, but if you lied to IRS, I'm going to buy based on what you told IRS.
Absolutely.
And
who are you?
those two,
It boils down to who are you lying to?
Correct. Is it me
I'm
or
going to take
IRS?
the better gamble in that respect. Absolutely.
Exactly. So those tax returns will really show the real deal as opposed to a profit and loss statement that's not audited.
And, I can feel so many of our listeners right now kind of getting nervous. Maybe, your books aren't what they should be, or you're saying financial statement, excuse me, or P&L. Who do I call? Don't worry, you're not alone in this. So many business owners feel the exact same way, so don't feel embarrassed about that. That's why you have a team of M&A specialists, MBAs. You have an entire team behind you because you couldn't possibly know it all and be the genius behind your business. So those of you out there who are just thinking that after talking about taxes and P&Ls and financial statements, you're okay. Keep with us here.
Yep, absolutely. So again, it comes back to, should one use a broker, right? That's always the magic question after you've gotten your financials in order. You've got the valuation that you think you have. Now the question is, do I use a broker or not? Right? Well, selling your business yourself will allow you to save a multitude of money and avoid paying broker commissions. But is it always the best route? Especially when you want to sell, to a trusted family member or current employee or qualified buyer, which we're now going to talk about, I believe. The key is, should you use a broker?
That's always the question. We've been so culturally conditioned to, anytime we want to sell a house, sell anything, we're automatically conditioned to call a broker, call an agent. But it comes back to that qualifications, experience. Do they have your best interests at heart, the best interests of your business? Or are you truly just a commission check? Because let's be real, at the end of the day, brokers and agents, they're paid on commission.
That is correct. But here's a question I want to ask. So many people, what is the real reason why you chose, or why most small business owners choose a broker? I think for the most part, is because they want to free up their time so that they can keep running the business, and there lies the trap door.
There it is.
If you're working in your business and not on it, that could deter a potential buyer, because your future buyer doesn't necessarily want to work in the business.
Yeah.
They want a professionally managed or operated business. And so if you're stuck having to work in it, that could force the price of your business going down.
Very much so. And, if you find yourself in that situation, begs the question, might sting a little, but are you even ready to consider the broker situation? Or, could you and the business, everyone at hand, truly benefit from some more preparation? Because if you're still in the business and you can't focus on finding the right buyer, a qualified buyer that's going to take care of your business, your employees, your legacy, you could do better. You could put that together. You could contact a team of M&A specialists and truly get the highest valuation and take care of your business and have access to professional, true buyers who this is what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed. I'm agreeing with you on that. So let's go a little deeper and qualify. Who's a qualified buyer? What are some of the characteristics that you should be looking for when you're looking for a qualified buyer?
Should we just give you the characteristics that we hear from a lot of our clients and our buyers?
Of course. Let's start with that first. That's always the fun point.
I like to ask because I like to see what people's perception or expectation of this is. And more times than not, I hear they have the entire purchase price. They have the down payment. They're already qualified for a loan. I know them through grapevine, but they have all the financing. It's always coming back to just a dollars and a cents, but not how much sense do those dollars make for the business, for the seller, for the buyer, and for the employees.
Yep. So I guess the first question is, you need to know if the potential buyer is pre-qualified or not. And that's going to be, is the business pre-qualified for financing? The old adage is that the buyer pre-qualified, but let's be frank here that most people, the business is what's being looked at.
Yes.
As the qualifying piece, not the potential buyer. Is your business qualified to get financing?
Yes. Are you prepared to offer that?
Yes. No, not offer it. Is the business in a position to support getting financing from SBA or another type of funding source? They always refer to the buyer. Yeah. It's always the business has to be qualified. A lot of business owners don't know that. They believe that the buyer should come with financing on their own as if they're purchasing a piece of real estate.
Comes back to that financial statement.
That is correct.
And those tax returns comes back to that.
That is correct. The second thing is, and if you plan to finance the sale, you should have those details worked out with your accountant or lawyer long before you reach an agreement with a buyer. Because you need to know your tax implementation.
That also goes to say, yes, you definitely need to speak to your trusted advisors. But
correct.
don't be ready to be inflexible. That also goes to say there's no such thing as a simple transaction. You can create any type of transaction between you and your buyer, anything under the sun, when people agree to it.
Correct.
It works for everybody.
But here's the thing. Most small business owners, as I said to you earlier, 99%, have less than 20 employees. So those employees are not just numbers like major corporations. They become extended family. And so most small business owners are looking for, good hands, if you will. I'm not promoting the all-state slogan, but they're looking for some safe hands to transition the business over because they're handing their family members over to someone else.
That is so true. Everyone really does become family. And I've met a lot of sellers who hadn't quite looked at that perspective, even though they knew it. But when it came time to put these pieces in place, that was one of the last things on their mind. Whereas I'm sure our team, Empirenomics, PWIB, everyone feels that's the first thing. Because these people, without them, there wouldn't be this successful business. We wouldn't be here as a team. So we always really want to take care of service first, right?
That experience, whether what is the experience that that seller is looking to attain at the finish line? That's our goal, to help them have a favorable experience.
And whatever experience they want. Because there's so many things that can be done on so many ends.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So that's the key, is finding that right buyer who can facilitate all the things that you like monetarily and internally with your family, your business family. And most of the time I have found, in my opinion, that once a seller finds those safe hands, it's never about the money. It's about the legacy and the caring of the family. To be honest with you.
It really is, because I want to touch on this really quickly. So often I speak to people who want to sell their business. I just want to exit, just get rid of it. But what if you could do more benefit for yourself? What if you could keep a smaller piece of a larger pie over time? And this comes into also taking care of your family. Because now you're taking care of your employees, you're taking care of yourself and your own internal family. And because we've gone ahead and done a transaction, together, we've locked arms, we want to make sure that we're taking care of you as well. One thing that I'll give you guys a little backstory. One thing that I was always nervous about for my own dad, for my mom, was one day seeing them end up having to go back to work. And I know my dad worked hard. He was a very intelligent investor for what he knew and what he was trained. But nonetheless, I still was concerned about that. And had he held on and done things in a different way, he would have had long-term benefit. And that's one thing I do like to speak to buyers about, is really having a long-term benefit for your employees, yourself, your family, your legacy, and what you have going on.
Sure, absolutely. Legacy is important, that transition. That comes to the third part of it. Once you've taken the time to prepare the business for sale, a year, 2 years, fix all the things in there, make it attractive, and then you've discussed with your accounting team, the tax treatments that you can get for selling. The next portion is, what are you going to do with the money that you get at the sale?
Please don't tell me you're going to put it in a bank account.
Oh, well, that's what most people are conditioned to do, right?
It is.
And this is where we come up with creative solutions to create win-win scenarios where the actual seller can be bank on himself, as opposed to trusting one of the top 5 banks to look out for them. They can look out for themselves and have something like an annuity payment in retirement.
And that, Matt, especially with everything that's going on today with the big banks. Mm-hmm. Guys, just as a reference, it's January 2023. So check out the news channels and you can kind of see the current state of the economy and the banking, the finance world, just as a reference if you're watching this a little bit later. And you're truly right. It's about securing yourself and banking and trusting in yourself, because at the end of the day, you built this. You know what it is. You already have the trust. You know the insides, the skeleton, the guts, in and out. But it truly benefits your legacy long-term and keeps your freedom of time and options intact.
Time is your most precious asset, and so that's the key here. Preserve your time, extend your life.
Preserve your time, create more. Yes. So just kind of as a recap, everyone here listening, this is why I'm so passionate, because people truly don't know these things. They've been so conditioned to do what they've been told, even though they might not be truly benefiting you and your family. So I'm Lauren, aka the Solutionist, and I help businesses do more business. And I'm here to empower you to be able to get that top price at exit and to eliminate and minimize those broker fees so that you can truly live the lifestyle you desire upon exit. And the best way that you're going to be able to do this is to package your business in advance using, the methods we were just talking about, making sure we have a team, that we're not working in the business, that we're preparing in advance, that we're thinking about what's going to happen. We're thinking about our legacy, those safe pair of hands. There's different components that you want to add to your equation, per se. Now, if you have questions, which absolutely, that is normal, I expect it, go ahead and shoot me an email. Very accessible. info@principledwomeninbiz.com. Again, I'm Lauren Dulgaro, aka the Solutionist, and this has been the Principled Women in Business podcast with my very special guest, Al Mills, aka the Prophetic Financier, and he is the founder of Empirenomics, to which I'm also a leader with. Eternally, endlessly grateful for the advanced, specialized M&A education that I received through you, Al. And that absolutely needs to be said, because without your education, your mentorship, your dedication, I would not be in the position to empower so many other women business owners and consumers in what I do today. So, side note, brag rights. Al, as always, it's an honor.
So it's my pleasure to be able to serve. I always believe in that the greatest person at the table is the server, because it's all about helping and empowering others. So it's my pleasure to be able to take the journey with you in empowering so many women in business.
It's truly been my passion. And, you guys I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. If we were on a regular video, you could absolutely see it in my face. I have a very animated face. But we'll save that for another episode. Guys, stay in touch. We're going to be releasing periodic episodes for the PWIB podcast, but it's going to be the special Founders Finish Line series. And you'll be able to find that on the podcast channels and on the Founders Finish Line event pages and regular social media pages. Again, I am the Solutionist. I am here to empower you to do more business so that you can have that top valuation at your exit and really be able to have that freedom of time so you can live your golden years on your desire. I've been here with Al Mills, aka the Prophetic Financier, and we will be seeing you very soon on the next installment.
Awesome.
And that wraps up another episode of the Principled Women in Business podcast. Follow us on social media to never miss an episode and to unlock full access to your trusted business solution center. Find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, and YouTube. Till next time, stay strong and keep crushing. Find us at laurendulgaru.me or call 407-337-1117.